What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning into probably my 320th video on Gotham Knights. And, I'm not kidding, actually. Most of you are some of the most hilarious commentators and audience members ever. And I've been seeing a lot of these kind comments and, even some tongue-in-cheek comments regarding how much content I produce surrounding Gotham Knights. I appreciate all of it. I looked at my Gotham Knights playlist, and I think I have about 310 videos already published on this game, and that's not even pre-reveal content, because I've just really been looking forward to this game to cover every single facet that I possibly can about it. Now, in these conversations, something came up, and you guys know how it is. Our audience members, you make comments, I respond as much as possible. It's a community-centered, project for this Video Game Fight School channel anyways, for the most part. And, someone was telling me, I just don't feel like you've given us your real thoughts about the game. Do you like it or do you not like it? Seems like you haven't made up your mind. And they are actually very correct. In fact, I'm surprised that somebody mentioned it. I'm sure some of you have already sensed it, but the reason you've, in a sense, been patient is because there is that missing aspect of the game where we haven't played the game yet. Now, even so, one thing I've always been really cautious of as to how I judge games before release, and even after playing demos sometimes, or even after playing the game initially, is that I've been hasty to judge. So for those who've seen my work here, you probably think to me, like, why aren't you just spelling out everything about this game the way you see it? And that's because of past experiences that I've had. They've actually been good experiences, so I'll share them with you so that you see why my hesitation is actually something of note. So sometime in 2016, there was a game called Tom Clancy's The Division that was getting released. Apparently, I didn't even know this game had been revealed, years previously. There was talk about it. It had gone to an E3 presentation, yada, yada. Well, anyways, the game came out. There was a beta for the game. I played the beta for the game, and I thought, this is just a normal game. And so after that, I didn't even, think about it. I went ahead and bought Battlefield 4, which I didn't like because the game server was already lean at that time. This was 2016. I think the game came out a little earlier than that. And then at some point, I just said, let me give this Division game a try again. Let me see what's happening. Well, I went ahead and I ordered the game on eBay. Here is my receipt. My order confirmation receipt, which I got for ordering the game, and I paid $34.99 on PayPal for a game that had just come out, by the way. Keep in mind, this game, when it came out, it had a lot of issues, a lot of bugs, and a lot of people were basically flushing their copies down the road. It came out in March of 2016. I picked up a copy on eBay. I was like, haha, I got a cheap one. If I don't like it, no commitment. And I went ahead and did that. And to my shock and to my surprise, I actually enjoyed this game so much that I went ahead and I actually started an entire YouTube channel around this video game where I grew an audience of today about 35,800 subscribers. Can you imagine not liking or caring about a game, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a position where you've made thousands of videos covering the game as a whole and its sequel? I'm adding both of them together. So this experience taught me a really big lesson that I can and must never judge a book by its cover. And so that's one big reason I'm waiting for Gotham Knights to get in my hands before I even make any kind of final judgment. Now, the case might be different for some of you. Some of you are sages. You're wise, individuals. You're literally savants. And so you can see a game and say, yes, this game is going to be great. Or you can see a game and say, no, I'm not touching this game. And I applaud you for that, because someone like me, I refunded Elden Ring at first. I'm not kidding you. I was going to pull up the refund email, but it's a little choppy. You're going to have to look at it in browser. It's ugly. But then look at my Elden Ring playtime. I'm sitting on 290 hours, and this is just my Steam playtime. I have achieved on Steam 33 out of the 42 achievements. If I maybe borrow down a little bit, I can play New Game Plus and try to get all 42 Steam achievements that are actually here that I need to unlock. Just basic achievements. I'm not going for anything nuts. And then I have a PlayStation 5 progression as well, which, even though I've not beaten the game on PS5, the experiment is still so much fun just to find myself in a situation where I'm just playing the game at that point. So ladies and gentlemen, you see that judging a game, even sometimes for me, after I've played the game, my initial judgment is not necessarily the way I usually, take or perceive a game. Some games have been like that for some of you, where at first you didn't like them. eventually they just clicked, and then boom, you already enjoyed them. Another game that I can actually put in this context is Batman Arkham City. Arkham City was just one of those games that I didn't even know anything about. I was in college. I was, looking for a buddy of mine. I had a friend, a group of friends. We used to hang out together after classes, and we'd just talk and argue about soccer. We're from West Africa, and that's the only sport we grew up with. So literally, when we were bored, we would go argue about each other's favorite or worst teams. So I went over to their place, and apparently the guys had gone to get lunch or something like that. So I was like, you know what? No one's in the house. Usually when they're home, we play FIFA anyways and, trash talk. So let me play another game. I saw Batman Arkham City sitting there on a PlayStation 3. I slotted in, and behold, I'm hooked. This game becomes one of my best games ever. And I never even had to even know about it. It was just it was an accidental discovery. And then today I have a whole YouTube channel where I'm actually talking about the game and some of its highlights. So I speak for myself, where I cannot judge or jump to conclusions in anything regarding Gotham Knights. The game looks as it looks, but game feel is the biggest thing. I see everyone and all of you that leave your comments saying this game is going to be this or that. Even those of you that are saying the game is going to be great. I hope you're ready for that situation or scenario where the game may or may not click for you. Because if you're ready for that, then wonderful. But if you're not, I just want to make sure that my channel does not lead you astray, but at least you're prepared to say, okay, this is my decision and I'm going to stand by it or live by it. And even for those who are actually saying the game is going to be negatively received or I'm not going to like it or whatever, I hope you're also prepared in the event that the game maybe actually appeals to you, regardless of your portrayal of the game so far. And this is the way we human beings are when we interact with all kinds of different things in our lives. Some people have some crazy stories. I can tell you some more crazy stories where I just want to say that my initial judgment's not necessarily the best. I can go very, very personal, but no one really wants to know all that stuff. I mean, especially my wife, she's probably going to be like, yeah, you told him what? I mean, it's just really weird, situations in our lives where your first judgment of something is almost always very skewed. In fact, I would even give you, say, maybe some of my best friends in life. My initial judgment of them was wrong, off. Eventually, I got to know who they were, and then it just became some of the best friendships I've ever had in my life. Gotham Knights may or may not be that, and I am open to that possibility because I've just learned enough. And I'm here just to give the game an open-minded approach. So, if you're waiting for my, thoughts about Gotham Knights, you got to wait till I beat the game at least so that I can tell you from a very based perspective on my own experience. I'm not going to need to play the game for 60, 70 hours to be able to give you that. No. All I have to do is just play the game to tell you where I stand, whether I feel the game is great, the game is just good, or the game is not good. Don't worry, I'm not going to be afraid to say it. Some of you think I'm probably going to hold my horses. You don't know the level of unfetteredness which I can deliver. Maybe you'll know once the game comes out, but I'm going to keep that just in place for you guys. Or you could go watch my other content on my other channel and see me when I'm going back and forth with that community over there. That community over there and me, we're like, we're like brothers who always are at each other's throat. It's just very funny. But I'll just leave this video here, and I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys at the moment. So thanks once again for watching video 311. I really appreciate you guys so much. Hopefully we're talking video 376